See the team poised and ready on the field. We know what is about to happen. Well, we know exactly what's about to happen here, don't we? Erling Haaland getting the crowd ready.
Iconic Viking ROW. Wah.
Wow, what iconic scenes we are seeing from this World Cup. And as I mentioned before, Erling Haaland and his team have made history. Norway have never made it to the quarterfinals of a major tournament, and that man there has fired his team into the quarterfinals. They'll play the winner of England and Mexico. A lovely embrace by Odegaard and Haaland there. I'm sure you have all enjoyed this as much as we have. Of course, commiserations to Brazil. It's their earliest exit of the World Cup since 1990. But you know what? This moment belongs to these guys. Ashley Westwood and Terry Phelan are watching alongside me. Terry, your thoughts on what we've just seen?
Well, it just gives you goose pimples, doesn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. Entertaining. It was entertaining, you know, within the 90-plus minutes, and now they're having entertainment after the game. It's absolutely fantastic. There you go. That's what it's all about. Alan's father played against him a few times and all. So, you know, this is what football... it brings the world together, doesn't it? And this is absolutely fantastic. Great occasion, great moment. And there you go, the Man City player, Haaland, get in there.
He had to get that in there, didn't he, Terry? But you know what? He has been phenomenal for club and now phenomenal for country. He's delivered on the world stage at his first World Cup, Ash.
Incredible. And I think that's... is that Take On Me in the background by Aha, I think I've pulled out there, the song I can hear most singing. So, incredible scenes. Incredible team spirit that we did touch on before the game. Obviously, we said Haaland would be their main target man. But for me, the togetherness, the camaraderie, the joy that they bring into themselves and to the fans, and the scenes at the end is something that you can't force, you can't manufacture. It's just natural, and I think everything about these is natural. Hard work inside, getting rewards, just to show you that it doesn't always have to be about tricks and flicks and flair. It can be about togetherness, team spirit, and just hard work and desire. And it gets you, effort, it gets you so far, and that's what they've got there. And it's at the minute, it feels a little bit unbreakable for them. And if England do get a result tonight, they're going to have to go to their old rivals, the Vikings, and pull one off.
I know, my goodness me. But we've got to credit this team, because for many of them, they've never even played in a match of this magnitude before. And for them, this is such a special moment. They've made themselves proud, their teammates proud, the fans proud, their families proud. It's a real moment that they will never forget.
Getting to a World Cup is a proud moment anyway, just getting there. But then when you come through the group stages and then you're going into the final round, it's even more special, and they're going to enjoy it now. And I always say this, enjoy every little moment of it, because you don't know what might happen in the next game. So enjoy it, and that's what they're doing. Great bunch of lads, and the leader there is just sitting down now, Haaland, number 9. There you go, fantastic.
And the Vikings and this whole thing that they bring to the World Cup will be remembered forever. This is just so iconic.
Incredible. And when you look at that, I'm thinking, I'm not sure what's going to be worth more, Haaland or that drum. Because that drum might go for a few quid after this World Cup if they keep going. But there you just see it. Like I said, it's not fake. That everything you see is completely genuine, and they just look like they're getting stronger and stronger together, more together. And it just looks like a bit of an unbreakable bond at the minute. So whoever they play, if it is England or Mexico, they're going to be a real strong unit, as we've seen today again.
I remember playing there in 1994, and we beat Italy 1-0, Ireland, and you know what? We didn't celebrate like that. I just stood there and looked at that crowd. It was just them moments where you think it might never happen again, and it was absolutely brilliant. So I know how they feel, and it's a great moment, a great occasion.
But you said you didn't celebrate it.
Well, no, we didn't. We didn't celebrate like the Vikings. We just stood there.
You stood there, just
stood there,
soaking it all up.
Soaking it all up, yeah.
Incredible. Well, look, Neymar, of course, came on. He scored the penalty at the end, but it was a little bit of a consolation goal in the end because it didn't really mean much. Look, for Brazil to be knocked out of the World Cup is huge. So from Norway's perspective, that's massive for them, but really emotional for those boys. Yeah,
huge. And, you know, I think Norway thoroughly deserved the win, but there were moments that could have changed. Of course, the missed penalty. Hendrik comes on, goes clean through, but is obsessed with trying to get it onto his left foot. It wasn't that natural, could have easily scored if he was a little bit more controlled or a little bit more experienced. Obviously, you see what it means to Neymar. He realised this is his last World Cup. I mean, he has scored in 4 World Cups now, so that's something he can take home. I think only the second Brazilian player to do that, so that's something he can live with for the rest of his life. But no one wants it to end. I mean, we've all been there when our careers end. His career's not ended, of course, but his World Cup has, and he won't have another one. And it's just a little bit of a moment that you look back on and you never want him to end, and that's why he's obviously so emotional and upset. Yeah, and I'm sure you can relate to it as well, Terry, where you know when it is going to be your last World Cup, it will be filled with emotion for him. He wouldn't have wanted to exit this way, just sad all around, really.
And especially coming in with a little bit of an injury and all, and then he got injured when he was there. He didn't really have a big part to play in it, you know, but on the field, but off the field, I'm sure in the dressing room he would have. You know, and to come on and score the penalty, maybe they should have brought him on earlier and scored the first penalty. But, you know, it's there, he's been there, he's seen it, he's done it all. Now it's up to the new players to come in now and really cement a place in the Brazilian side and uplift them again, because, you know, I don't think they've lifted the trophy in 6 World Cups, so they're starting to do something special. But it's all about Norway, isn't it? You can't take nothing about the way they played, their attitude, the way they went about it, and, you know, they get the goals for it and you get your rewards.
They are the story, aren't they? And they deserve all the accolades they get. And you mentioned, Ash, the team spirit, the togetherness, the belief. You can feel it. And it's not just the players that are stood there, it's the staff from behind the scenes. We saw the manager earlier on, and you can just feel like it's a really positive, happy camp there. Yeah, for sure. And to be honest, Scandinavians are hard-working. You know, they're not, you know, in your face like heroes and taking all the credit. They just work together as a team, and that's the biggest thing that you can say about Norwegians. They are a team. You know, there's not what there is, of course, Haaland, but you get the feeling that even Haaland, I know he's a big player, but he's not like the superstar. He's not any different from anybody else. And obviously on the other side, you've got Neymar. You know, I'm not knocking him, but obviously he wasn't fit. He's more of a superstar. We've seen it at PSG. You know, our togetherness, is the togetherness the same as Norway with the Brazilians? On that performance, I don't think so. They were a little bit bitty. They weren't a condensed unit. They weren't tight. They weren't compact. You know, they were playing in moments. They were trying to team the Norwegians on their counter-attack. Obviously, Neymar comes on, scores the penalty, like we know. But you just find that the team won today rather than the individuals. Yeah, this is football, isn't it? The highs and lows. You know, it's real-life drama, unscripted. You never quite know what's going to happen. And we just saw a picture there of contrasting emotions. For Norway, it's pure elation, and the dream and the fairy tale continues. But for Brazil, it's the end of the road.
You know, it's sad a little bit because, you know, there's 4 years gone into it, you know, 4 years of, you know, sweat, blood and tears have gone into it, and it just takes a moment, doesn't it? Lack of concentration, you know, Gabriel, lack of concentration, not going to head the ball, and Haaland gets in front of him, and they find themselves 1-0 down.
Yeah, well, those Norwegian fans in New York, I'm sure, are going to take over the city. I'm sure they're going to celebrate long into the night, and I hope they enjoy every single moment of it, because you never know, as Terry, you just pointed out so rightly so, you don't know what the next game is going to have in store. So bottle it, enjoy it, and soak it all up. And we've got to talk more about Erling Haaland now, because today he scored the 2 goals that separated these 2 sides. And for Erling Haaland and this Norway side, we saw it in the previous match.